How's that work?
Yeah.
And not with a foster gate.
Puller.
But 51
He grabs
people
a
have ever-
screwdriver, kicks it under the pops that sucker out.
Lucky yeah.
Done? Let's go, John.
Yeah, no,
No problem? Occasionally want to blow up.
last time was saying, sometimes you don't know how long
Line
you
is
got it.
complaining because I blew $100 chip.
They tell you how it is.
Power down.
That would help.
Yeah.
Ground yourself.
Don't give up on the screwdriver. There's one brother is in the control of one of the control circuits in the railroad.
He says,
It's,
if you want to, no problem. He said, have guys in his Bible and book change.
so,
Mark saying,
turns on an FE.
even the Catholics here, I have trouble with life.
Oh,
yeah. They little liberal.
Well, he got all of his grounds tied together
All them
from
cars
12-volt circuit and this 5-volt
What do they
circuit.
call it? They were conservative.
You can use the ground box.
They're not happy. Yeah.
Oh, occasionally,
Because this guy walks around
80,
shaking like that.
15 volts AC across.
Everything in the church. He says, well,
And
he
and input
was
was
kind of him, the judge.
because didn't you
He
see
wanted
that
to come to
art?
church.
Yeah.
Ministers.
Yeah.
Or bishops, but they can get church.
No, but we used to run the power for the tuner in the Jeep, Comanche,
Oh, there's a
through
whole
DC power.
So Rob says his church.
And one day we're sitting there,
My brother
we fire up the truck, all of a sudden smoke starts pouring out of everywhere. We're like, uh-oh. So I turned it off, put it back on the smoke, so I pulled that wire out.
And he's always on.
And we had wired it into where it was, it was fine. Well, all of a sudden, I don't know if it did the ground or whatever, it was pulling too much weight, too much, melting the wires down. I was thinking we fried something. We just fried it, only what fried was the wire. So after that, I hooked up 2 9-volt batteries, and that's what we used for the tuner. And I was all power for the tuner, even though this was, I just pulled it out of the batteries. So it doesn't take much to do the tuner anyhow.
He talked about
But,
retiring.
boy, it was weird.
End of the
So
year.
I tried putting a resistant capacitor
No,
around
that
it.
was
No luck.
Well,
Tried with the
yeah,
capacitor.
he's actually having, he said, why should I retire? Actually, I'm gonna put it in dark. He said, I've been through hell. Enjoying it. I've been through hell and heaven. No, it's great. I got all of his possessions back. Well, yeah, that took a while, but.
Huh?
So anyway,
on the ground?
I don't think he's gonna retire till a year
I
from
just finally pulled it out.
December. But, we're talking to.
Rather than play games, rather than get another surprise, first time you get surprised.
Is on the church conference.
Right, and it doesn't work.
And when him and I talked,
Another option.
he said, it's time to get somebody fresh in there, get things fresh. I mean, after a while, it's the same old thing, you need some fresher people. Because the older guys don't bring in the younger people.
Well, that's true, but every church is having that problem.
And generally, yes.
The number of people that attend churches.
Yeah, it's true.
Part of that Sunday opening.
Young people, already working that.
Being forced to work.
Yeah.
Or working late on Saturday.
That's right.
Which is the nice thing for a very long.
So I don't know.
Get burnt out, you get burnt out.
He said that maybe a year from December. Well, see, that's the other thing is, when you're a Lutheran, well, it doesn't matter when you're running the church. Everybody invites you over for a dinner. They want you to come to the house.
Yeah.
You got every funeral. You got every wedding. And of course, the money passes cash in your pocket. So you kind of, if you start losing the extra cash for funerals and weddings and getting all these free meals and stuff, you start having to pay for them. There's a lot of incentive to hang around.
Fred must have left.
Well,
Yep.
you got the size also, he's got
Yeah.
he's getting well paid.
So this kick me in the butt next time I'm bitching
I'll
about.
finish, besides this fifth one.
No,
And then all these
you
other
right.
commanders.
You're out getting a
He
little.
goes to a lot of
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
people's place, but he, you know,
A little bit like that's all you can do.
I wouldn't want his job because he'll call him in any hour.
Like you're saying,
He's gotta go to the hospital, or he's gotta go to
Yeah.
the home.
You don't want to make it.
Well, what I wanna know is this just grumpy stuff that's gonna get better if I kinda waddle along, or is this a serious issue? Gotta resolve back with a serious
I'm
one.
down at work a lot.
Associate
Yeah,
pastor.
that's part of-
The other thing I didn't know,
Yes.
when Ralph,
Yes.
the associate pastor, grumpy pastor, that
much.
they both gotta go.
Yeah,
Just counteract that.
yeah. Well, I used to be over there 2 or 3 times a week, but it's only going a week.
After the church.
Quite a while, working on
associate,
stuff. and-
Right, when the
Then
pastor retired.
Wednesday I got lazy, and
They
Thursday
gotta
I
get
got
a whole new
lazy.
deal, the associate
Yeah,
pastor,
they get a whole-
say they're not. That's not, you can't, you know.
Well, Wednesday I said I'm gonna get out of bed, and I said, "Hey, what's wrong with bed? I don't want to get out of bed."
I'm gonna lose it.
Thursday I did the same afterwards. Friday I said, "Don't get up." I'm like,
Another church is an associate pastor.
what?
Well, he could fill in.
So then Saturday I got the big time guilt trip, about 4 days late from working
Oh,
out.
he moved, yeah.
Sunday I go over there and I'm like,
They
okay.
typically, because the pastor hires the
Yeah,
associate.
well, I haven't been there.
Okay.
Almost.
So then you follow, because you're gonna get something that comes out.
Well,
The
well,
council is the one that interviews and hires. See, Rolf works for the church council, he don't work for. Right, he don't work for the people really, he works for the church council. That's who controls his evals, controls everything. That's like, it's a business arrangement, it's not,
I used to walk
you know,
park all the time.
no. So.
Well, I'm doing something, but I'll do 4 miles with a bike, that doesn't bother me. Well, there for a while though, I couldn't even.
Councils who control.
I would think that would mess up.
And Rolf.
You know, you would think so, but I get off the bike and they're fine.
Rolf.
But I go over and do this thing where you lay forward like this, and
Doing
then
the
30 of these.
council and the church.
As soon as I get done with those, I go try to walk, and my legs don't wanna work. So I don't know if you're stretching your hips that much, well, you can feel almost like plates lining up on the spine. You
He's
can
got,
feel it.
Rolf is gonna take care of.
How much weight are you doing?
I'd be scared.
But see, are you doing that with 100 pounds of weight? No, I am stupid, but I'm not that stupid anymore. But I used to do a lot more.
But yeah, no.
I used to do like 500 pound weight presses and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. And Bill tried to warn me, and I just blew it
So I
off.
mean, if the church
Ah,
council
good.
wants them all, they
That's
can vote
500
them
pounds,
out.
just watch me do 6. And I would do 40. Right, you know, and then I couldn't walk for a week, you know, it was like, you know, do you think that was a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you go start to play with the big guys, right? So your best deadlift is 300, he's doing like 700 pounds. You don't belong in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then the really big guy, not Big Bob, but Big Mike, would do 800 pounds.
See, in
In other words.
Oh, it's where you go way down.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.